most invaluable pawn. So let the merge begin. Now that the spiders are gone, with the core in my hands, reality shall collapse, and my eternal reign will stretch beyond divine grasp. So fade away and return to nothing. Your strength is great, but you're no match for me, no. I'll let you live for the entertain me. God of all creation, God of your creation now. I do not fear you now. I exist beyond your time. Rule over cosmic beings. One thought could melt your mind. I do enjoy your rage. Could always entertain. Erasure won't come yet. I'll just provide the stage. So fade away and return to nothing. Your strength is great, but you're no match for me, no. I'll let you live for the entertain me. God of all creation, God of your creation now. So fade away and return to nothing. Your strength is great, but you're no match for me, no. I'll let you live for the entertain me. God of all creation, God of your creation now. Pasta in your head, it tastes like heaven. And we eating pasta and it.
I just started there.
Yeah. We've ended careers before. They call us a lethal weapon. You brandish an unsheathed sword. Plain hero, Roroni Kenshin. We kicked it aside of your door. Use the one to get to seven. Where was that bravado you had a hot minute ago? Hey, we got ups, but I wouldn't say we beef. How the same go, it's a two-way street. Get me on the pipe and you know they had a tweak. I'm just trying to lay my name, you get what I'm speaking. We entertain the masses and anywhere the weekend. There's some asshole think that you can press the lead and put the whole squad down, get out within the weekend. But we stars, boys, so continue, go and see. We've ended careers before. They call us a lethal weapon. You brandish an unsheathed sword. Play hero, Roroni Kenshin. We kicked it aside of your door. Use the one who will get to seven. Where was that bravado you had a hot minute ago? Talk big game till you learn it ain't one. Got your nails on this track's another freight ton. Now the single dub, so you gotta make one. GS, domino, trying to cook some great stuff.
You can keep talking, this be the season for hot when we down and new in our treasures while casually pressing your buttons. You keep pretending and nothing, but we can tell you be frontin', try threatening us with a poker, but your face looking all tough, and we calling out all your bluffs and we telling you what is left, and we saying enough's enough, but you trying to keep acting tough. If you really think that you run, let me tell you, you ain't the one, cause the song will be nothing speakers and the whole team finna pump it, y'all. We've ended careers before.
They call us a lethal weapon. You brandish an unsheathed sword. Plain hero Roroni Kenshin. We kick it outside of your door. Use the one who will get to 7. Where was that bravado you had a hot minute ago? We eating pasta in your hood. It tastes like heaven. We eating pasta and it good. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cruising around with nowhere to go, watching the physical world implode. Take all comers, but ain't no show. sentence was to end my life. Chance for repentance be denied. They want to see me crucified. A man's hysterical delight. I cry out, God forgive them, for they not know what they are doing. They see their barbarism simply as amusement. I'm not a religion, but I am your God. It takes more than scripture to get you to stop this facade. I don't think you get it, I have already won. My name has been branded right onto the flesh of your tongue. I'm trying to tell you that I'm not the one. But whatever's whatever, and when it is all said and done, you wish you could be me. You wish you could be me, wish it were that easy. I'm not of your species, it's not worth competing. You wish you could be me, wish it were that easy. I'm not of your species, now bow down before your God. It takes more than scripture to get you to stop this facade. I don't think you get it, I have already won. My name has been branded right onto the flesh of your tongue. I'm trying to tell you that I'm not the one. But whatever's whatever, and when it is all said and done, you wish you could be me. You wish you could be me, wish it were that easy. I'm not of your species, it's not worth competing. You wish you could be me, wish it were that easy. I'm not of your species, now bow down before your God. Thunderstorms, ending worlds, gods of war, clashing swords again. Thunderstorms, trembling hordes, gladiators, torn apart again. You won't find mercy, I'm afraid. Thunderstorms, ending worlds again. Live or let die, there's no escape. Gods of war, clashing swords again. They saw me as a joke, the lowest of lows. They prodded and laughed at all my woes. Shattered my very soul with blow after blow. Just another act in their freak show. Lights, camps, crowds, fans, I can't afford to choke up now. Competition, no problem, choke 'em out. I'll show them what this ring is all about. When I smash, they face so hard and shake the ground. Thunderstorms, ending worlds, gods of war, clashing swords again. Thunderstorms, trembling hordes, gladiators, torn apart again. You won't find mercy, I'm afraid. Thunderstorms, ending worlds again. Live or let die, there's no escape. Gods of war, clashing swords again. You can hate, you can pray on my downfall, come melee. But when the rain floods the place, you will find there is no escape. Thunderstorms, ending worlds, gods of war, clashing swords again. Thunderstorms, trembling hordes, gladiators, torn apart again. You will not find mercy here,
Alright. This is probably one of the shortest, dramas. I'm not saying that it'll end here, actually. I'm thinking that there's a chance that it could continue. I don't know. Although, I feel like with how Cinder decided to just, like, peter out and not show, anything more than just put a bunch of words, I have a feeling that this is not gonna go any further. We'll see. We will see. Excuse me. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Hello, everybody. Unironically, I was kind of hoping that this would take another day or two to come out, because, I wanted to come home today. Wanted to come home and do some other stuff. But God had other plans for me. I'm going to be doing the best I can for this. Just understand that I have kind of a headache right now. I'm trying to work on it. Can't really take medication for it. So, bear with me. Probably recovering from the stuff I did yesterday. Yeah. Want to laugh at stupidity? Well, you're definitely going to get it. Chat, I have put up a poll. I'll be putting up another poll. And probably, like, as we go through this here. But, make sure you vote on that poll. If you're on YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't have one on Twitch. But if you're on YouTube, vote in the poll. The question of the night, if you have read the document that has been put out by Cinder, VTuber, literally all her name, is making everybody ask this question. Now, a lot of people have already decided that they know the answer to this question, and I'm sure a good, decent chunk of you in the chat know the answer to this as well. I will be giving my opinion on that afterwards. Apparently, there are more people that are still coming out with stuff like this. But I have a feeling that unless another tower is hit, another, like, massive swath of Google Docs come out, which there's no reason to now because she's already apologized and moved on and she's been uber canceled. But if more comes out, I imagine that they will be covered on Thursday. So there is probably not going to be any more impromptu streams like this. Mostly just because tomorrow and Tuesday is my day off, and I am not streaming on those days unless somebody dies, alright? That's not me being hyperbolic, that is literally my criteria. Like, well, not really. There has to be something massive in order for that to happen. But I'd like to hear a legal opinion on the subject. We might have the elf come in later, we'll see. I told her she was welcome. She can come in after the doc is over. I am in the server where friends of the show are welcome to come and say hi. So, once we're done reading, in fact, I'm just gonna impromptu leave that there. Once I'm done reading, we are gonna allow for some opinions. Mizu and Ava already read the doc. No, they read the initial doc. This is the response to the doc. Okay. This is the response to the doc. Alright? And like I said, again, I expected this to take upwards of a week. Alright? Listen, this is what I expected. Alright? If you are a smart individual, okay? If you are a smart person, like me, that's a joke, by the way. If you are smart, you will not just throw out a statement hoping that your text on the words alone is enough to dispel how people are feeling, because that's not. People have grown past the Me Too era where they don't just take words at face value anymore. And honestly, I'm very happy that that's the case. Granted, some people are still so stupid that they will look at a Google Doc and just make a choice based off of looking at it. Mizu's getting burned alive for this. I did see that a lot of people are trying to dab on Mizu. I have my opinions, again, and so I will give them later. But, My major issue with... We haven't started reading with this. I skimmed it. I skimmed this. Now, to be fair, this came out... Let's see. This was 4 p.m. when this came out. I was in the middle of work when this came out. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, okay, I just finished my break. Let me look over this. And then I looked over it, and I was like, okay. I started scrolling, and I was like, okay, where's the screenshots? And I kept going. And I was like, okay, there's no screenshots. There's no screenshots. And then I got to the bottom, and I was like, where's the fucking screenshots proving... refuting anything that was said? And it's just like, there are none. There are none. Shylily's reply was great. Shylily had a book as a reply, and I will be going through all of the replies, chat. Okay. Well, we will go through the replies here. Like I said, I will give my opinion. I will give my opinion afterwards, because if you are here just for me to read it, well, that is what we are going to be doing. If this is your first time on the stream, hello, my name is Mama Akko. I like to talk about and read drama. I like to give as close to the truth, or what I perceive to be the truth, as possible. I will be using allegedly as much as I can tonight as I read this, as I did yesterday. If you are only listening, I will do my best to make sure that everything that is on the screen will be illustrated perfectly for you, so that you don't have to worry about looking at the screen. So, sorry. Oh, my apologies. I came home, threw some threw some rice in the pot, cooked some beef, and I sat down. I just barely got the chance to sit down after making these thumbnails. I did a lot in an hour and a half. Please, head pat me. I need it. I did a lot to prep for this. Normally I have like 4 hours to do this, but I just did this now because I want to bring you guys the content. Okay. All right. Man who isn't bad when you hit that big. This is true. Yes. Jester of crime. I disagree with that. I disagree with being called that. Anyway, let's get started here. This is extremely long. 7 pages of just text. That is like almost double the length of the original doc, because the original doc, a good chunk of it was just here. I will... For size here, the original doc, while it was this long, had a lot of pictures in it, and the pictures reduce the amount of text you're going to be reading. So Cinder's apology is almost twice the length, because it has just text on the page here. Thankfully, it is formatted decently well, so we won't have a horrible time reading it. I do have water with me here. I hope you don't mind if I am going to go to that every once in a while, because I definitely need it. And I think we should just get started. I thought you were talking about some other kind of pot. Oh, no. No. I have a pressure cooker, and I put a pot of rice in, and I am eating it. I'm consuming it. Well, it's off to the side now. I'm going to be consuming it during dog wave. Hopefully Temp doesn't mind. Anyway, let's get started here. Excuse me. All right, this is my apology from Cinder VTuber. There's nothing I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologize to each party affected. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I'm here. We've also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors. Now, I will pause here to say, when all of this started, there was one individual, like I think their name was Van Peaches or something, that came out and said that this was her boyfriend. However, at the time, I did not feel like that was sufficient enough evidence, and a lot of other people did not feel like that was sufficient enough evidence, because it's just like one person saying it does not count. However, this is her coming out and saying that Redacted is both her partner of some kind and her manager. She is also admitting that essentially Redacted has basically been at the hip of her content creation since the beginning. So I don't know how long she's been in content creation, because I know that before she was a VTuber, she was just an ASMRist. I imagine that if she's saying since the beginning, it was before she was an ASMRist, or right around the beginning of there. I don't know. We're just going to take her word for it here. We're going to be doing that a lot here, because there's nothing to really prove what she is saying. It's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and personal lives separate, and I am no different. As of yesterday, he's no longer working for me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. So she's not even, according to her, she has not talked with Redacted about any of this. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately, meaning that she may or may not break up with him, and you will never know. I never intended to mention us publicly, but given that the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. So essentially, chat, if nobody made the allegation that she was with him, she would never have admitted that she had him as a partner. So, so that you got that there. So she's already coming out here and saying that if nobody called her out on it, nobody would have known. But it's out from what I remember. The initial allegation was something that, like, was mentioned in a public place among some public people. So it's kind of hard to just, like, refute this if you've already said it in public. It's just one of those things where if you say it, you hope you forget it. And it looks like people forgot it for a while, and now it's just back out there in the public. So congratulations, your GFE experience has been ruined. Like, even if this woman continues to stream, your GFE experience is ruined because she was cucking you with another dude. Congratulations. I don't know if you're into that. Well, I won't judge. Given all of the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper-business-oriented outlook warped my view of what it is I should be doing and what should be important to me as I navigate this career path. I have a terrible work-life balance as it is, and being around projects and streams all day, every day, made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy, and it's an outlook. It's not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't absolve me of the things I'm willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I've treated people who were fully undeserving. So she's coming out here and saying that she has an unhealthy work balance, and again, this is a little bit vague here, but she is basically saying that you can blame all of this on how she first goes after him by saying that his work-oriented style kind of twisted her into what she is today. Which I don't really feel like that's something that you can ever really prove. That's just something that she is going to say as a feeling. And if people decide to take this at face value, he'll never be able to recover from that. But I just think in general, people are going to look at this and say it doesn't matter. You still made these choices, which she did. She did. She still made these choices. Although, I'm going to be honest with you, we're still to figure out how much of this she actually played a role in. I assume that she'll get into that. This doesn't absolve me of the things I've willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I've treated people who were fully undeserving. Now, I will say that by her not being specific here, and I'm going to assume that she probably gets specific down below, but her unspecificness to this really makes it hard for people to not... Like, the less specific you are, the more people are allowed to speculate. So if I just read this here, I'm going to say that, like, she is saying that she's taking accountability for everything here. Not the best start, in my personal opinion, when everybody's claiming that you tried to sabotage other VTubers. In regards to Nanoless, for the majority of time working with her, Red was the one almost solely doing the communication about new plans and negotiation through his private DMs. Which makes sense because that is what managers are supposed to do. And you really only go to the client if you have an issue with the manager. Nano had a project server we were all a part of where the actual art and models were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission decisions, and I should have been more diligent in my own oversight. Now, this is one of those things where... in my personal opinion, there is a way that she could somewhat easily disprove this. Now, if these people were living together, you're never gonna, like, there is no real good proof. But, even if they weren't, these people probably talked on the phone, probably didn't keep recordings of their phone calls. So, because of that, even if, like, she talked through text, she would have to screenshot all of her Discord messages. But what she is alleging right now and I will give my opinion on this later, that basically she was hands off on the transaction, that her manager took care of everything, and she had absolutely no idea what was going on. They aren't living together. Well, I don't really know that, so because I didn't, I'm just going to infer that, you know, even if they weren't living together, it's kind of hard to prove that you didn't do this. That's the problem. She's going to be on the back foot of a negative pretty much for the rest of her life when it comes to all of this. Let's see here. Every time I had been told that Nano had agreed to work on a new commission with me, it had been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, it was that she genuinely wanted to be working on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand. We had come to the conclusion that it'd be in my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my projects by negotiating with her to cut other work. This was wrong of us to push on her, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted a chance of working with her. There was only one specific creator we were responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering projects with, not an entire list. Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her model commissions last September. However, the claim that I was just using her is wrong. Again, it's really going to be difficult to, like, put a yay or nay on this, because, like, how do you prove? How do you prove that's the case? Besides, like, Discord messages, you know, like, anyway, we'll get back to this. I've always treated Nano with respect as my friend. I did give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could to accommodate her schedule if she needed more time or a break, and even helped her with her own projects payments multiple times. I invited her on my stream, I sent her my merch and things she's made for me, and I always was open to talking to her about things outside of our projects in the instances we would message each other. Regarding the exclusivity deal made between them, I had no part in the direct negotiations of the eventual agreement. I had no knowledge of Bao and Cotton being included on this list. If I had this is the first time of Cotton being named, I think. If I had known my friends were included, I would have said something to put a stop to it. I was only aware of it being about one person who I was unfairly pursuing. Okay, so she's admitting that she unfairly pursued at least one creator. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month later, I was under the assumption this was only about Silvervale. Silvervale. I was upset, and my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy. Okay. Wow, you're making it really easy for people to just, like, dab on you right now. Holy cow. But I wasn't going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with, and tried reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. Nano had also never come to me as seriously and professionally as her document was looking to address the issues she had with either of us or terminate our partnership. I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shylily recently between Red and Nano until reading her document. It's true, I had confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past and was worried something was wrong, but that's as far as it went, and he took it upon himself to try digging for more info. And I was never even aware that Nano was ever planning to work on a model for another one of my friends, Jiri. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in these gems either. Him using we and our in this context is abhorrently incorrect, and I believe was done to gain greater credibility behind what he is saying. So she is saying that, like, he does not speak for her, which, again, kind of difficult. Just a little bit difficult. She's going to be on the back foot for this. It's going to be kind of hard to prove this, and that's kind of the issue here. Yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I should not have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough, or like I wasn't paying enough for his work. But I accepted it and was happy for him getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. Now, is this Nanobytes? No, this is Nanoless. Nanobytes is another creator, I'm pretty sure. And yes, I was upset with Sack, the Boss Rush MV editor, had told us that he won't be going on future projects with us and would instead be working exclusively for Bao, but Red got it in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it, but he told me without an MV editor as talented as Sack, the future projects wouldn't reach the same heights. So he created this headcanon that laid out those DMs. I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly to clear it up and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music, guilt tripping, and claims about our shared feelings towards her are disgusting, and I honestly don't know why he thought this way about my close friend beyond the resentment over those two things, or why it was worth sabotaging her over. He's her manager. How does he not speak for her? So I will say, chat, mild opinion injection here. Managers are supposed to speak for you, yes. I am going to, if the best faith possible I can offer is that if you want me to be best faith towards her, her manager just got a weird hair up his ass and decided to do a lot of this. And again, because he, not knowing that he is actually confirmed to be her partner or her boyfriend, makes a lot of sense. Because when you have a partner that is also your manager, which I don't recommend, by the way, your manager should always be somebody that is separated from you emotionally. But when you have a partner that is emotionally connected to you, they are going to be extremely protective over you if they have like an emotional connection towards you. Which is why, again, I don't recommend partners, or even really, you got to be careful with friends as well. Like, you can be friendly with your manager, but you got to be really careful, like, just how much, because, like, it can be extremely dangerous and can lead to potential situations where your manager thinks that he can just go off and that he can do more of this. But again, to go on the flip side of this, it really is a question of just how much this woman actually knows, if that makes sense. What I will also say is, a lot of people are saying, how could she not know? And here is my little anecdote here, then we'll continue reading. I, again, with the most good faith possible, does Bull speak for me? He speaks for the trees. My personal opinion, managers will not share details with you if they don't need to. I have had Bull, my current manager, talk with other creators about things. Some projects are in DMs with me and the individual we're working with. Some have not been. But I actually think for the most part, most of our conversations have. But that's our dynamic. But whenever Bull is talking with somebody, typically I don't see, nor really need to see, the message history because I trust him. And if he is an asshole, I imagine somebody will come and talk to me about it. So, best faith possible, she trusted him like a boyfriend/manager, and because she did, he went off the reins and did some pretty fucked up shit. Now, judging off of what I am reading, it sounds like she's still taking some... Sorry, I have a tape measure in my hand. She's still taking a lot of responsibility for the stupid shit that she also did. But if we are to offer the best faith possible here, and I am talking real best faith, I can believe that some of this shit she just didn't know. Alright? Some of this stuff she just probably didn't know. And, you know, it's whatever. And it is her fault for, I wouldn't say it's not her fault for not knowing all of this, but it's her fault for, like, including a very emotionally heavy individual. Because, again, you don't include best friends or partners as your manager because there's a different dynamic. Like, the manager will... a regular manager will be cold, heartless, and will just talk business because it's in his best interest to make you money so that you can make him money. With Cinder, it's her boyfriend. He's going to be with her, or I imagine, like, the dynamic would be that if they didn't live together, they eventually would move in together, and that he'd have a girlfriend that was uber rich. So, like, I imagine the dynamic was probably a little different. I don't know. I don't know. That's just my opinion. We'll continue walking through this. is negligence. Again, the view I'm looking at is negligence, maybe. But again, it's you have the wrong person managing for you. All right? The wrong person is doing your management for you. And because of that, his emotions are going to go right into his head. Because you're the girl that he fucks. Like, he's going to be emotional and try and make the girl that he fucks happy. If that makes sense. Anyway, let's move on. The quote is just business, unquote, screenshot of my DMs with Nano's document was from November of 23. Now I'll go into my thought process of everything I said here. What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if anyone has a model by her, the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being an oversaturation of that type of model out there. And that is true. And this is not me trying to be mean. This is just accurate. This is just how things work. The more of one thing that exists, the more of one thing that spreads, the more that you are going to feel like it is devalued. From a business perspective, this makes complete 100% sense. All right? I have at times floated the idea of because my artist who made both of my models, I have floated the idea of being like, how much money would it take to make this artist live off of me just paying him? One, because I like to support the guy, and two, I just like his art style. But I don't think it is inherently wrong to want to go exclusive with something when it is your brand. If the artist doesn't want to do that, that's completely different, and that's a non-starter. But some artists will do it. I will say, some people I saw were thinking how scummy it was for them to only offer 4 models a year. Not understanding that Nanoless, okay, I have not fact checked this. I'm going to take this at face value here. Nanoless's models are very, very expensive. I have heard that upwards of 5 figures minimum for her models. All right, so we're talking $10,000 minimum for Nanoless's models. So if we are talking bare minimum, they wanted to pay her 40 grand a year just to work with her exclusively. The value argument is stupid. That is how the business world works. All right? When there is more of one thing out there, business-wise, people are going to feel like it's devalued. That's just how it works. Again, you can think that is a dumb argument. That is what business people think. No art is worth that. Hololive people would beg to differ, all right? Hololive people would think that you are incorrect. Hello, Dama. But it is an idea that people have, where in the world of business, which it is very obvious that Cinder is thinking about this from a higher business perspective than all of her friends, all right? She values her brand and the art from that brand, and she does not want it to be devalued. And she feels like if Nano goes with multiple people, her brand is devalued because other people also share in similar branding. So you can think that that's a dumb argument. That is the business argument that you're going to see. And I understand the argument. I might have different approaches to it because I also just want my artists to grow and flourish, but that is the argument. I feel like that's important to state here. The argument only works if the models are identical. No, not necessarily. Again, when you have an artist that works with you, again, the best way that I can explain it is just you sound like you're trying to sell an NFT. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm just explaining how these people see it. And some people, listen, if you think this is stupid, this is how businesses already do it. Some businesses will pay for one artist to only work for them, period. Some people already do this. All right? So this is just common business practice. Okay? Does the document confirm Red and Cinder are dating? Yes. Yes. business perspective isn't always correct. I'm not going to say whether it is or is not. I am just telling you that is what people feel. That is what people feel. Some people feel like the value of their stuff is based off of how much of the artist is out there. That's it. Okay? That's it. Anyway, let's continue. Change your analogy to an oil mine or diamond mine. I guess. It's a rich girl mindset with a spoiled child mindset combined with a mean girl mindset with a massive entitlement. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, let's continue here. Let's see. If everyone in the world had a VTuber model done by her, then the value of having her model wouldn't be the same as if there were only a handful of them, which he viewed as a negative for me. I understand where he was coming from with this, but in the VTuber space, this isn't something we should have pursued. Nano has an amazing skill where she's able to draw each of her VTuber children uniquely, so I was never upset about new model siblings. In many cases, I was there cheering them on at their debuts and looking to collab with them as sisters when I could. Me saying it's just business was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decisions, whether she chose to work with me or not. This was not in reference to anyone's model being cancelled. Further explaining to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. Excuse me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to this point. Since at this time, I wasn't sure if this is where Nano and I would stop working together as frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for a new model artist. I then encouraged her to work on her project she's excited about when I talked to Red to find a project that would work with her schedule. We're only on page 2, I think. Nope, 3. When talking about Silvervale, I need to start at the beginning. Before I was Cinder, I was a pink cherry blossom girl named Tashi that did ASMR content. When the VTuber boom happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join. Red and I contacted an artist in October, and they were set to start my VTuber design in December. The plan was to take my cherry blossom persona Tashi and make her a pink white wolf girl VTuber in November of that same year. Silvervale revealed her Sakura Wolf redesign. I had heard of Silvervale earlier in that year, but I just didn't watch her streams at all. You and me too, sister. We knew that we had to pivot before we were stuck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. Like I've explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love of Okami and metal music in the design and came out with a hellhound. My name was originally going to be Ember, but the Red came up with the name Cinder since it was a mix of Sin and Cinder, both hell and fire themed. It was only a coincidence that it ended up being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her, and drew fan art of myself with us together. On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time saying how great working together would be, since again, he's been in the business-oriented side of my brand. Since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silvervale, being called the discount version of her. Discount version of her. I was accused of copying her design, copying her personality, even copying her laughs of all things. Are you gonna show that, please? Again, I wish, okay, here's one of my issues that I had with the Spite document. She said this was happening, but she didn't show it. I'm not going to disagree that it did or did not happen, but I will say that, like, this is... I don't really agree, you know? There was a large number of people who were diehard believers that in the fact that I stole all these attributes maliciously for my own gain, citing the art I posted of us together, calling her an inspiration, when in reality this was referring to the decision to become a hellhound. Hold on a moment. Let's see here. Actually, hold on a moment. I'm gonna get a guest in here relatively quickly. I think. Let's see. The only time Silvervale was mentioned in the original designing of my character was when we explained why we were pivoting to something else and there were no references of her character involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time between the constant belittling of myself, a little controversy around my first waifu cup, and other incidents. Even though she herself never interacted with me directly, and it was also the fact that made me insecure, like I wanted to know if she believed all these things or not. It really felt as if she didn't like that I even existed in the same place. So at the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models with her. If a VTuber model is how everyone recognizes you, then it'd be hard to compare us directly if we no longer look alike or have the shared similarity. It was a wrong and selfish decision, but it made me feel better, and that's why it was a constant topic with Nano. Hello. Let me get you on screen here. Give me one moment.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, where is it? There it is. Perfect. Perfect. I need to add your bat eventually because it's perfect. All right. Here, let me share screen with you.
Yes.
I'll add the bat here once I'm done reading this. Back to the start I go. Howdy. Hello, thank you. By the way, chat, I will read super chats at the end. Thank you for them, by the way. Let's see.
Oh, you don't have to go to the start. You can continue from where you've been.
Oh, no, yeah. I was telling people to go back to the start of the stream.
Oh, okay, good.
Let's see. Red pushed for this harder than I ever did because he knew how it affected me for years. But no matter what the outcome was, I wasn't going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led me to making this choice. I became unapologetically evil towards her due to the no direct action of her own. There is no excuse for any of this. Moving on from Silvervale, let me talk about Spite. Once again, I had no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up Spite to Nano in 23. My only personal involvement, excluding some specific for working with Nano, was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public at the very start of 21. The first thing that she mentions is a debut teaser in 22 that was apparently posted on the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design and details, as all girls are. I made it a year, and I had it made a year and a half since my first design sheet was finished and public, having a full VTuber debut as I watched everything grow and change from the sidelines. And I didn't want anyone else to capitalize on my concept before I could. Soon after my original debut, I remember Spite getting an update to her model that made it seem like she more closely resembled me, including fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. I didn't want to start drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over fire as a design detail. The references from the ripped shirt and shorts outfit on my bikini model was given to Nano in 22 with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit that would be safe for Twitch. The merch art she's referring to was designed around my concept of my fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscale was the artist's choice since it was going on the back of a hoodie, and I didn't have any say, or at least I didn't counter that being a final decision. There's no intention to deliberately look like Spite with this piece. Unfortunately, both my Angel and Sleepy outfits being similar outfits Spite has done in the past was just a coincidence. I had always planned to one day... You could have included screenshots here that would have definitely helped you out. Holy shit. I had always planned to one day make an Angel counterpart to my Demon outfit when it's being made in 23, and my original ref sheet laid the groundwork for that idea. I never liked theming anything around my brand in a religious light, so I chose to make my Angel form more Greek Valkyrie than biblical, which also gives it a similar look to my Demon form. The Sleepy outfit was a last-minute decision to pivot from a fully...
I'm sorry, can I just, take a second to laugh at the term Greek Valkyrie?
Yes.
Valkyries are a Norse thing. What? No, you're talking about a Greek warrior then. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, all these people are stupid. That doesn't sound like, it sounds like there's some lower education that was not given, so don't go at them too harshly. Let's see
my
here.
idea that, while I don't think Sitter did, knew a whole lot about exactly how far Redacted was going, that's kind of irrelevant given how clearly, what would be the word? Toxic competitive. That's what she is. And that's just through what she's admitting here.
Yeah. No, I agree. She is admitting that she is being, overly competitive in a very toxic sense, and it is leading to, very obviously, it's leading to her breaking down some of these relationships, and that's not good. Hold on one moment. Okay. Sorry, while I'm doing this, I'm trying to forward the bat. There we go, I forwarded the wrong message.
Judy Smoothie is absolutely correct. All I know is Shylily came in with the steel chair. That's all I know.
Yeah, she did.
Shylily, and I will say this, I think the reason why is we've seen her react to drama involving only her. She really doesn't give a fuck.
No.
But I think this is like the protective, like, oh, you hurt not just me, you hurt my friends. You gonna die kind of thing, you know?
Yep.
I think that's where Shylily's rage is coming from. Ugh.
Oh, no, yeah, 100%. 100%. I think that, Shylily definitely, like, I have never seen her go that
Mama
hard.
Bear is out and she's ready to fucking kill. Look.
Yes, that is very accurate. Oh, why is it not uploading? Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I'll just continue reading. I tried to upload it and it failed. All right, cool. Let's see here. The sleepy outfit was the last minute decision to pivot from a fully new 3.0 model because I had the opportunity to work with GamerSupps on an AFK flavor. Despite never should have received the hate comments over her outfit or any comments comparing us or belittling her because of my existence, and I never advocated for anyone to do so, especially given my existence. Despite it also brought up another creator who reached out to her with their experience with me, and I can only assume it's Neon Tales. They are an ASMR artist who at one point posted Hellhound OC for one of their upcoming ASMR videos, and it was undoubtedly created using me as a reference. That's an accusation right there. This was right after my debut, and
yeah, that is an yeah, again, this is the toxic competitiveness. Like, I don't think it's like as serious as people were. I hate that Redacted and Sid are apparently the same person, but she is clearly, she's got that mean girl syndrome. Like, you can't copy me. You can't wear the same dress I'm wearing. You go home, go change right now.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's just very obvious. Very, very obvious that she's like, oh, this is 100% what it is. And it's kind of funny, in my personal opinion. Okay, Fugi Tech. Oh, that might be why. Let's see here. This was right after my debut, and like I said, I was very protective of my design elements being unique to me, and I overreacted. Shortly after, I apologized, and they agreed to adjust the character design, and I thought the matter was settled. Oh my god. At the very start of my online career, I was a GFE ASMRist. Before I started my channel, I had gotten into listening to roleplays, audios myself. I'd always been shut in throughout high school and college, and I wasn't happy with where my life and relationships were at the time. After uploading my first few videos, my channel started growing fast. This was the first time I was inundated with so many people wanting to know and talk to me, and I got lost in the excitement of it all, not fully coming to terms with these messages because of the kind of content I was making. I was immature and inexperienced with how to conduct myself online. I never had many IRL friends and had met Rain doing ASMR. They're talking about the guy that she did NTR roleplay with.
I'm sorry, she did fucking what with the who now?
She did NTR roleplay with one guy. And
alrighty then.
well, it's more just like she did roleplay with this guy, and it basically was her cheating on her boyfriend, so it was what it was, I guess.
So that's so not physical cheating, but rather cheating through ERP. Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
What a world we live in.
There we go. We got it fixed. Perfect. Let's see here. I quickly became comfortable chatting with him about everything, divulging my grievances about my personal life when I shouldn't have. I cheated on my boyfriend with Rain with these conversations, flirting and sexting. I used Rain for emotional support and sexual fantasy while I let my real life relationship collapse. It was about my dissatisfaction with my personal life and escaping into messages with someone else who I found through content and focusing around GF and BFRP. It was never about climbing the ladder with Rain, and I find that being his takeaway from why I move on baffling. Excuse me. By the time I was ready to debut to Cinder, I wanted to leave that in the past. Still to this day, I regret my decision, and having been living with it since, I was lucky enough to be able to mend my relationships after this. And lastly, I want to address Peaches. This is a very big problem I have, and I'm sure many other in my position too. At the end of the day, I am one person. I'm one person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people, and streaming for hours almost every day. Yeah, that is a lot, ma'am. Let's see. I've never had a big social battery, and I get tired very easily when interacting with people. I haven't had much energy all over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. I rarely have been able to keep up with my closet handful of friends on a frequent basis, let alone everyone else. Red has always been a big help in keeping up with things, but he doesn't do everything. I'm sorry I made you feel forgotten, Peaches. I don't know who this Peaches is. They must be some other person that throw out something that I didn't say. Holy shit.
Van Peaches.
Was it Van Peaches?
Van
Okay.
Peaches is the one who said that she remembered them playing Phasmophobia 5 years ago, and Red was there talking with you, and then something about a TwitchCon meetup where she switched gears and she was like, oh, hey, I'm bringing my manager. And it's like, I know it's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
So Van Peaches did the call out, quote unquote, exposing the relationship between the two.
Yeah. Okay. I always cherish your friendship. I was incredibly excited to meet you in Paris. I'm grateful for everything you've done for me, and I never thought to purposely drop you just because I could. I'm sorry, I know I made a lot of people feel forgotten or ignored. It's so easy to get caught up in the projects or what I'm doing. Well, I've got the energy to do it, that people fall by the wayside. I understand the feelings of those who resent me over this, and all I can say is I'm sorry. I don't deserve to be able to contact everyone.
There you go. My Fugia should be better.
Yes, I was able to fix it, thankfully. It's beautiful. Chat, tell me what you think of the Fugi. It's a snow bat.
Hello, everybody. I'm a snow bat.
It's beautiful. Okay. This is the last 2 pages, it looks like. I don't deserve to be able to contact everyone involved directly in this to personally apologize. No! You go to their DMs and say, can we talk? You've learned nothing, woman! Oh my fuck. Holy shit.
To be fair, a lot of her accusers have learned nothing as well. There was a few other people who dropped Gulados who said they never reached out to Sitter to talk about this. And I find that equally appalling. So, again, there's no good sides here.
Yeah, I'll give my opinion afterwards. The bat was my idea. I thought it was my idea, but you know what? You can have it, Tim. To Nano, I'm sorry I let things get to this point or even entertain the thought of you working exclusively with me. That's not fair with you. That's just how some businesses operate. But you should, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be here without you, and I wouldn't have been able to do most of what I've done without you. Feel overly attached to our relationships over the past 4 years, and I love your work so much that I wanted to make it myself exclusive to your art and should have never sought those feelings to be reciprocated. Everything you worked on for me was always so perfect, and I lost sight of how everyone else around me would have felt. I had no intentions of pressuring you into anything, but looking back on my clouded judgment, I can see how my messages felt that way. When I talked about how my models helped you improve, I meant that as looking back on how far we've come together. We've been friends for so long and cherished each other on when we both started growing and getting more opportunities like plushies, figures, etc. You've been my exclusive artist for full live 2D models for the majority of my time as a VTuber. That's definitely done. And of course, I would have been sad if you didn't want to continue that relationship. But in all of our private DMs, I was okay with you ultimately doing what was best for yourself. I saw you as someone I trusted and loved and wanted to make sure you were still taking care of yourself with all the projects you took on, mine or otherwise. I never saw you as just a business partner. I thought I was reassuring you that I'd always be understanding if you wanted to move on to other projects. I genuinely appreciate our friendship. I always saw you as a close friend, and I'm sorry for what I put you through. Since the start, I've always admired you and how genuine you've always been to everyone. I wouldn't have been here without you either. I'm disgusted with myself for buying into the narrative that my friends were quote-unquote competition. Okay. Yes, they are. Yes, inherently, every single VTuber is competing, even the ones that are in VTuber organizations. It is a competition because you are sharing a finite amount of resources, which is a potential pool of people. It is a competition. Some people take it more seriously than others. It sounds like Bao and a lot of the friends that you had didn't take it as seriously and just chilled. So you were in the wrong friend group. Oh, fuck's sake. I've never had such genuine friendships in my life, especially with you. We've gotten to know each other so well, online and in person. You've already been through so much, and the last thing I'd want to do is cause more harm, but I did. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put in my head. I wish we would have been able to talk about this. I didn't know about the severity of things that have been said and theorized about my own friends behind my back until now. It's my fault for not realizing the things Red was saying about you. The countless... she's admitting fault for it. Taking responsibility for him. The countless friendships I've made here within the last several years means so much more to me, more than him in the quote-unquote business side of things and his way of thinking.
Yeah, actually, it's really good to point that out. Because one of my rubrics for judging whether or not this was going to be a good apology was still taking responsibility for how Redacted acted on her behalf. Whether or not she knew about it is regardless. Like, her not going, well, I didn't know, so it's not my fault. She's not doing that. She's going, I'm so sorry he did this. I'm so sorry that he did this on my behalf. Right? So, and to me, that gives points in the positive to the apology.
Yeah. Fight in Denny's parking lot. Oh gosh, Junie, you can hop in for a few minutes when I'm done with this.
First of all, you don't fight in a Denny's parking lot. You fight in a Waffle House. Inside the
Exactly.
Waffle House.
Inside or outside, yes. Let's see here. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner. The things are put in my head. I wish we'd been able to talk about this. Why didn't you? I didn't know about severity of things that had been said and theorized about my own friends behind my back until now. It's my fault for not realizing things that Red said about you. Countless friendships I made here within the last several years mean so much more to him and just the business side of things and his way of thinking. No amount of popularity or money means more to me than the friendships, or more than the relationships I built in this community. I always been myself, whether that can be on stream or in person, and I hope that the friends I've made can understand that I've never condoned this behavior or any of the things that were said about my friends. I've always wanted everyone around me to thrive and find happiness. I can't stress enough how disappointed I am that I didn't see this sooner until it got to a breaking point. I'm sorry, Bao. To Sack, I love getting to chat with you in person and absolutely loved all the hard work you put into the Bosch Rush song. Grateful to hear that you were on board to edit the MV. I don't remember exactly why the stream got pushed back, but I definitely wouldn't have had to put the blame on you, knowing about how soon the deadline was when you started working on it. I was so thankful for your willingness to complete the project despite everything, and the quality of how it turned out was incredible. I can't believe how Red talked about you specifically after all the effort you put in for me. I'm sorry for everything that's happened. To Cotton and Lily, I'm sorry that you had to get dragged into this. It's my fault I let it get this far, but I hope you can believe me when I say I had no knowledge of Red bringing you up in Nano's DMs. I just learned about this myself, and there could have been so many other friends affected by the narrative that things have always been, that things that always had to be competitive. I feel like you perpetuated some of that. You believe what?
I believe that she didn't know Red bringing up in Nano's DMs, that kind of stuff. Again, like, here's what I think. And again, time in family law where wives will come in and they want to file for default and divorce because their husband and business partner of 5, 10, 15 years was doing something completely under the nose of the wife. And it's like so insane that they have to end everything, right? So when this shit dropped and Cinder's first immediate response was, oh, fuck you, you're fired. That tells me that, yeah, I don't think she knew the manner in which Red was approaching the attempt to secure the exclusivity deal. I think how it went out was this. Red came, hey, I'm still working on that exclusivity deal. Let you know how it goes. Cinder says, okay, thanks, babe. And that's pretty much all she knows at that moment until this stuff came out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you now, as having a manager, Raking Bull does not tell me every little thing of what he happens. Sometimes he just shows up and he's like, oh, look, I have a card made of me. That's fucking awesome, but I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people have to understand that, yes, a manager will do a lot behind the scenes in the back end that you might not be aware of. Now, maybe it's your due diligence to find out just how they're doing it. And an argument could be made that Cinder should have been more on top of that. But again, treating Redacted the same as Cinder is just, it's not the way to go.
Isn't she still dating him? That's to be determined, I'll be honest. She didn't mention anything about that. Let's see here. None of my friendships are worth sacrificing over an art piece. Ever since the start, I loved that I saw someone else sharing so many similar interests to me. That's not what you said earlier. And I thought maybe someday we could talk about it and be good friends. I was blinded by all these hate comments around me calling you your lesser half. I hate the person I've become towards you. I tried reaching out some time ago to try and start a friendly conversation to change things and make things right.
Hold on real quick. Philip Plup just said, so Red is mostly at fault for all this? No.
No. No.
I will say that they still amount of fault for this because Cinder should have been more, like, she should have asked more questions. She should have figured out exactly how these deals were going down. And Redacted never should have made these deals this way. Ask those questions of Nano. Like, about, what about Shylily's mom? Like, there's client confidentiality you don't want to mess with, but while Redacted did do a lot of the shit, Cinder still, takes a lot of the sort of fake out apology. She's not pulling out no ukulele, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, my stream died there for just a moment. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Ooh, connection got a little wonky.
Yeah, it's, Yeah, it's
She hates
suffering
this
right
guy.
now. I'm gonna lower. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna have to message them again and say that it's still having issues. Let's lower it back to 1500 kbps. Let's see if that fixes it.
$1,500 is about the max of what I can put out to YouTube.
Yeah. Cinder seared the stream. Oh my gosh. No, it's still dying.
Yes, Val, yeah, hold on, we gotta wait. It is, it's dying. Probably contacted YouTube for exclusivity on streaming.
I guess.
Oh, I think you're back.
I might
We're
be.
back.
We might be. All right. So let's finish this off here.
Yep, everyone says it's back.
All right. Let's finish this off here. Let's see here. Probably connectivity on streaming. That's funny. All right. Let's see. Despite all that, I was being eaten alive by my doubts and fear and harassment. I was pressured by the community as a whole to try and reach out to collaborate since I got those messages so often comparing us. I hope we could work something out. The photo of me at the meet and greet was taken candidly and I thought it looked cute. And I posted it without asking you, which was wrong of me. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head about all these malicious feelings. I'm so sorry for the opportunities I've taken away from you. I am Silvervale Silver. Despite, I'm sorry I assumed things about your design that weren't true, and I'm sorry you've been harassed by commenters needing to compare us. I apologize for the way Red spoke about you to Nano. You didn't deserve this. Despite, I'm sorry. To Peach, how many people are left? Holy shit! Rain gets one of the biggest ones. That's hilarious. Let's see here. To Peaches, I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was ignoring or ghosting you. I was happy we had the opportunity to meet in person, and I was apologetic with how busy things were being for me at the time. Wanted to spend more time with you, but as I got more and more DMs and messages, everything became so overwhelming. I've always had a low social battery, and it made that so hard for me to keep up to date with all my friends. I've never had any ill will towards you, and I still don't. Let's see. To Rain. Is it dying? Did it die? Hold on a moment.
Yeah, I can hear your voice is getting robotic, so it probably died.
I hope not.
Again. Are we back? Are we still here, chat? Okay, people are saying we're fresh, but they're good.
We're okay. It says that I'm still streaming on YouTube here.
Yeah, we're okay.
Oh, this is upsetting. I'll restart my internet
push
after
through. We got
this.
this.
All right. Sounds good. I've always had a low social battery, and that made it hard for me to keep up to date with my friends. Oh, my goodness. The opera thing ran out of memory. That's funny. I've always had a low social battery, and it made it hard for me to keep up to date with my friends. I never had any ill will feelings towards you, and I still don't. Terrain, you were the first person I met as an ASMRist during the time where I was immature and vulnerable. I ended up being consumed by the content I was making, and it led me to making awful decisions I still think about and regret. I was not a good spot at the time. I hated myself for this kind of behavior, and it took a long time for me to move on from what happened. I have no excuses. I'm sorry you were dragged into my drama, and I'm sorry how I made you feel after. I just wanted to close the book on things. I'm so sorry to my Pyro Pups and my mods for expecting me to lead by a better example than this. I'm sorry to the VTuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. I'm sorry to Kaiser, who's put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me, and not even talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that I put their hard work into me, and I'm sorry to the rest of my friends who I let down. I led a bad example, and don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over my 5 years on the internet. I'm one person living the one life I get for the first and only time like everyone else. As I said at the start, I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work-life balance, and the harm Red has caused with the way he has viewed things is irreparable. The way I've been perceiving things lately is not how I want to view the world moving forward, and this goes to show there's a lot. It's not YouTube. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right.
It's not YouTube, guys.
No, I'm going to restart my internet.
It's not YouTube, guys.
I'm going to have to message the internet guy. So down again? Yeah, I guess so. All right, chat. That was the big thing there. It's a YouTube issue. How is it a YouTube issue? Is YouTube having issues right now?
It's not, guys. They're not. They might be at the same time, but like legitimately, her Discord upload speed is. Maybe it's like a double whammy.
I have no idea.
And now they're seeing you back.
Well, that was the Google Doc. Now we'll let people have some opinions if they want to have them. Just start talking.
Oh, I didn't realize I got pulled in just yet.
You did. You did. I was gonna read opinions from these people, but I'm gonna save them for Thursday because my internet's gonna die again at some point. I feel like, oh my gosh.
So I know you say it's not YouTube and it's happening to other people. I mean, I guess everywhere else, but I just got done watching 5 different streams talking about this, and the exact same issue is happening to everyone live streaming right now on YouTube.
Okay,
so,
is everybody using like Restream then? Because I am using Restream.
I guess.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Because
because
my KBPS is dying.
I don't know.
Because I'm not directly connected.
Performance, YouTube and Twitch going down, so.
Really? Because yeah, my KBPS is like tanked right now. My upload speed is pretty good. My download speed is sucking.
Yeah, like I said, download. Yeah, like I said, it's gotta be Restream that shit in.
I have no idea. I really have no idea. Okay, so give your thoughts and opinions. Ava, I know that you were very like in the middle of this yesterday. What do you think now?
For me or Ava?
Ava, you first.
I return.
You return.
Oh.
What do you think about this? Do you think that what is kind of like your opinion on it?
I think Cinder was being as genuine as one can be. A lot of people are still like out for blood and like still very hurt, emotional. So yeah, maybe the apology wasn't accepted, but a big thing to take note of is her apologizing over what Redacted said on her behalf. If somebody was truly trying to obfuscate blame or like, oh hey, you know, it was all my manager, you know, they wouldn't do that. They would say, it was my manager, not me, I don't view that way, blah blah blah. No, they're saying, yeah, I'm needlessly evil because I'm competitive and shit like they're admitting where they fucked up. They're admitting to the small allegations, they are addressing the big allegations. I say, as far as apologies go, this could be better, but this is by far not the worst one I've seen.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Sparky, what do you think?
As far as me, looking for this whole deal, like I said, whenever the documents first dropped and reading through it, there's several things I noticed. I'm not gonna say that Cinder is innocent here. There's some things that Cinder is tone deaf on.
Well, she definitely admitted to not being innocent either, so you can't say that she's innocent.
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying that she's admitted to, you know, being toxic at a competition, stuff like that. But I'm talking about
you're prefacing what you're saying because any attempt to defend anything about Cinder, the instant reaction for most people is, oh, what? So you think she didn't do anything wrong? No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that there's some nuance here.
Yeah, for the most part. But it's like from the very first document reading through it, I feel like that there's all sides have got some dirty laundry in the closet. Looking through and just seeing that
especially
like
with
all this
VTubers on this level, like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of exclusive. Yeah, that's there's no way there's not dirty plays going on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, there's and just looking back, a lot of these screenshots go back 2 or 3 years. So it's like you're not gonna tell me they just had these locked up in a folder or if they did, well, that's actually
Also,
kind of
I'm
worse.
gonna
but it's
mention
like,
this too because it's really important. But Nano should receive some criticism too here. Not for
Yes.
her releasing this information, but for how she interacted with Redacted. It was completely unprofessional for Redacted to ask for information about other clients and stuff. Completely. But Nano's response should have been, I can't discuss my work with other clients. Period. That should have been the end of it. So Nano needs to learn some professionalism, and Redacted for sure needs to learn professionalism.
No, I agree. I agree.
For the most part.
I when I
like
read
that
through that
as well.
document, I felt like Nano needs their own manager, because it sounds like they're having some stuff that they need, like a manager that is completely devoid of emotion to figure
I
out.
would say that Nano is like anxious. They really want to please everybody and stuff like. And when you have this kind of person, they're a great artist. They're an amazing person, but like, I'm the first to admit that I couldn't get the model that I have now if it wasn't for you, Mama Oko, Junie, Raging Bull, people helping look for me. And the fact of the matter is, like, when it comes to artists and stuff, if they're a little wacky when it comes to social cues and stuff like that, yeah, you need a manager, you need an account, you need somebody to represent your interests in your way. But also, it's important for you to be aware of how your manager is speaking on your behalf. And that is a fault of Cinder. She was not, if we're to believe her, she was not involved enough with the details of how these deals were being discussed, and that is an L that she needs to take.
Oh, you can only imagine the conversations I have with Bull. Trust me, I'm working on a Google document right now, so you have no idea.
They've already made one.
Shit.
Anyways.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, if it's went longer, I'm canceled. Guys, I'm canceled.
Very
But
was
but
going
no,
through
with Nano, I think I agree with Diesel IRL's take on this. Nano's a little gossip bitch.
Yes,
and
they are.
That's how I'm gonna put it.
I will like.
Because if anything, you want to go.
Sir.
If you want to go at Cinder, you got to go at Nano, because Nano randomly gave this information out to Redacted. So
yes, they did.
I mean, and even
Yeah,
then,
Redacted
even
never should have asked
acted
for it,
on
but
top
Nano
of it.
never should have revealed it.
And
Like,
I'm sorry,
we have
you're
HIPAA,
not.
We have attorney-client confidentiality. We have artist-client confidentiality. These are things that should be reflected of. And I had a weird thing in one of my Twitter posts about this. Somebody replied and said that Nano charges extra for NDA. Is that true? I have no idea if it is or
Yeah.
not, but is
I was
Single
gonna
relevant?
say, y'all were talking about like, oh, Nano needs a manager. Hell yeah, Nano needs a manager. Her base price is 20K.
Oh, is it 20K? I thought it was 10K.
Wait, her
No.
big. Oh, yeah, we were up.
That makes it
that's-
okay.
Wait, no,
Bro.
that's
Pull it
80 grand a year if the exclusivity contract would have gone through.
Let me
You know-
pull it up. Give me a minute.
You know what?
Found it.
Actually, hearing that now, 20K, and go around. I'm sorry, it looks like Nano is also trying to
Holy
fucking price
shit.
shop to me.
I don't know.
Nano
I
is
mean,
trying.
What we
It's
saw in
hard.
those
You can go look
screenshots,
at it.
like, I would encourage everybody to do a little exercise.
Oh, I know it's
Um,
10,000. My bad.
Copy
I
the
read that
document
wrong.
as you can,
It's 10K.
but take out all of the setups between the screenshots.
It's 10K.
So
My bad.
take out Nano
10
colorizing what the context of the screenshot says. Just read the screenshots. And it looks like somebody talking about an exclusivity deal, backing out later, wishing the well, business is busy. It seems like normal back and forth stuff. Until you add all the weird contextualization that Nano had placed in with help from friends because she doesn't speak English. And I want to know who these friends of hers were, because they were in her ear telling her a lot of shit that just wasn't true.
I agree. I don't think we're ever gonna get it, but Nano had help from somebody, and if it's any of these other girls that like ended up talking about this, I find that kind of weird, kind of sus in my personal opinion.
Yeah, if anything, what Cinder needs to do, if she wants to get any more, because like I said, in my book, they're all in the same pot. They're all bad. I would not work with any of these VTubers by a chance, artists, editors, nothing. It just sounds like backstabby behavior to me. And I'll say this much for Shylily. My honest opinion, I think Shylily needs to shut the fuck up. Because simple fact of this is gonna affect more than just VTubing collapse. Because as everyone knows,
her going that aggressively, like she see, as somebody who's normally very aware that your words like can be taken as brigading and stuff like that. So you going so hard at Cinder, you know her community is going to go just as hard, if not harder.
Yes,
And
it's not-
Shylily,
but-
I know, is aware of that.
Yes,
It's not even
but
that.
yes, but I feel Shylily initially, when the first slew of everything came out, she was like, I saw the clips from her stream. She was like, I really don't want to talk about this. Like, I really don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it. And then like someone pushed,
Yeah, she does.
and then she
did.
ended up
Yeah,
like
people
coming to
pushed.
mention it.
I
a
hate to
little bit.
say-
Shylily.
But then when this dropped, she went ballistic, and I don't read it as her just like lashing out like a lot of the other girls. I think Shylily was genuinely blindsided. I think she was
No.
truly acting out of her emotions.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't think that at
Yeah.
all. I actually think
No, you don't?
Shylily knew about this for weeks.
I'm saying
actually.
that's two natal women here. What do you mean?
Well, all right. So here's the thing, and it was actually discovered on Diesel's IRL stream too, because for the last week and a half, every raider that Shylily got from other people, she called out the raiders and the raidees. Shylily never announced Cinder at all.
She announced the pyro pup.
Yes, she
she
did.
acknowledged
She
it.
announced the
I
pyro
watched
pup.
it. Yeah, she said
She just
Yeah.
didn't
she
say the name.
announced
She
that, but not
announced
by
the
name, but that's
pyro
splitting hairs on a level that's extremely petty.
You're gonna pull
Yeah.
a muscle with that reach, fella, in my opinion.
What I'm saying is this was weeks before this dropped out.
Yeah,
She knew about it. She was not blindsided by this.
don't
She
think-
knew about
It was
it.
in the middle of like I think she was literally in the middle of like.
I think that Shylily and Cinder were already in the process of having a falling out the way that girls tend to have a falling
Yeah.
out, which is a lot of, oh, suddenly we're not talking to each other, we're talking shit behind
Yeah.
each other's back and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, sure, in that respect, maybe Shylily was where something was going on, but in regards to the specifics, I don't
The
think
specifics, no.
quite
I
she
don't
knew.
think she knew.
And that's
And I
why
think
she
I think-
reacted so,
genuinely hurt.
like, angrily. Yeah, exactly.
I
I
think
think
she
that's
was
exactly why
genuinely hurt.
yeah, she knew something was happening, but she didn't know the she was hurt, but also Cinder Shylily perceives Cinder as having hurt her friends. And we've seen Shylily get targeted with drama individually. She handles it remarkably well. But when it comes to her friends,
friends-
nah, Mama Bear's out. And you betrayed me as well. Now
And, like-
everyone dies. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that-
just normal stuff.
That
then
is
just,
a
like-
stupid fucking hill to die on. I'm sorry.
Well, the thing is like, I mean, okay, maybe this is where gender roles come into play because as a woman, as a woman, if
Yeah, I'm sorry,
I
I'm
am-
completely
if I'm
with Journey here. Like, I get it.
here, let me.
No, I get it too.
If I am talking with a friend and I'm falling out with a friend, and that friend I find out was trash talking all of my other friends and barring some of my friends from opportunities, guess what I'm gonna do? Go against the one person and not abandon my group. Now, there are some people that will side with the one person, and that's a topic for another day. But typically, if I see one person acting out of line and the rest of my friend group's kind of like, huh? I'm gonna side with my friend group even if there is some fault within the friend group. I don't
And
think
that's
that's
fine.
singling out.
And Jenny, and that's completely fine. You don't write a fucking Google document and put it out to everyone.
I mean, is that not what you do? This is what we've been seeing for like the past 3 fucking years.
Yeah, you don't write a fucking Google document on this. You
You see,
talk it
you know
out.
what? You know what? You're
We're
right.
saying you
Because
shouldn't
because they're
write a
so-
Google
because they're
Doc
so-
on this. But we
the-
know what actually happens, and what happens is people are writing Google Docs about this shit. Now,
But
they
see, the
shouldn't,
thing
sure,
is-
but what is happening is what's happening.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. So, like, yeah, sure. In a traditional friend group, you may not be writing a Google Doc and putting it out on Twitter. In a traditional friend group, the group chat's blowing up. That's what's actually happening. But these are VTubers with public careers. And one person brought it out public, so it will be dealt with in public. That's the thing.
but hang
The
on.
moment it went public, it's dealt with in public. You don't just...
But Junie, business is a bad thing to talk about. All friendship. Business
What?
is a bad thing to talk about. It's all friendship, not business. So career has nothing to do with it. That's how the Google Docs explain everything.
Huh? What?
That's what I mean by
I
this.
think
It
that's
doesn't
a
make
lot
sense.
of feigned friendship, because these they're all career VTubers making shitloads of money, and I'm sorry, but they're going to, like, their friendship with each other is transactional. Period. That's just how this works. I'm
Oh, I'm
not
not
saying it's
denying
how it
that.
should work, but this is how it works.
That's how it should. That's how they. That's not how some of them act about it, though.
No, they're not acting about this. They're acting like, oh my god.
Oh no,
she's
because
too
part of it
focused
is
on-
always like they feign the positivity and, oh, we're such a tight knit group of friends. No, none of you really are. Maybe a couple of you are, but like 6-7 people all being this tight. No, I'm sorry. It's
Yeah,
just that
it's-
this was
it's
a
a grab
transactional relationship between all of them for collabs and shit like that.
It was business.
Lord business.
That is
Like,
art of the deal.
exactly
Art of the deal, guys. Art of the deal.
I know people go, and that's one of the main things, and a lot of people who wrote the Google documents are going at Cinder for. Oh, it was just business. Well, you guys are in a business relationship.
Does
That's how that
anyone
works.
even actually know what they said that in reference to?
Oh,
Nano reached out to Cinder and said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to pursue the exclusivity contract with you, and she listed a bunch of reasons. Cinder responded with, that's no problem, I completely agree with you, it's fine, it's just business, there's no hard feelings. That was what the fucking context of that is, and I
Yeah.
hate so much that people are misconstruing that.
Yeah, and well, the focus on the friendship part and not anything else. It's like, guys, this was a transactional thing between an artist and a VTuber and multiple VTubers. This was business. This is not friendship. It
And
was
you're right,
business.
Kazuhara. I don't think all of their friendships are transactional, but when you look at the group of 6 or 7, maybe 8 people as a whole, yes, that group
Oh.
of friends is transactional.
Oh, that's
Now,
interesting.
maybe a couple of them are much closer, obviously.
what's interesting?
But I don't, like, I just,
Sorry, continue, Elf. I'll pull this up.
no, sorry, you got my ADHD. I have to know what
Oh,
you
my
found that was
apology.
interesting. I don't know
Another-
what I was even saying.
Another VTuber has decided to drop more information. This time it's just a tweet.
Oh my gosh, another VTuber has hit the tower.
Their name is
God damn it, more
Aru.
fucking information.
Dude, the towers are fucking dead. So many planes have hit so many towers.
Their name is Aru. They are another. I've never seen this person before.
They have 150 followers.
Yeah,
50K followers. What?
and they're giving their
It's kind
experience.
of weird how these people come out of the blue.
So the thing that I thought was most interesting is she's sharing private DMs with Cinder, and it's just like,
Oh. We can meet some.
Back from 2022.
yeah.
2022.
Oh my god. See, this is just people. They're out. It's a witch hunt. You
They're
can't.
out
This
for
is out of
blood.
I'm sorry.
They are
anymore.
all out for blood. Like, listen.
They're
Yeah,
bloodbath.
this is like, I'm sorry. But you guys, you want her dead. I don't know why, but like, this is so beyond the realms of reasonability.
What's the
at
next
this point.
screenshot though?
Well,
Just that
looking,
one?
well, looking at this whole deal, there was
Recent-
a big cancellation campaign for Cinder about 2 years ago, if I remember right.
We can wait
For
for
what?
you.
I don't know.
Where's the
Rev
next
talked about
screenshot?
it.
Next screenshot.
Next one. Okay, hold on.
Reading. I'm
Yeah.
reading. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You're a fast reader.
Oh, she's even.
I am a
revealing,
very fast reader.
She's even revealing DMs with her and Silvervale.
Next.
Yeah, this is not. You don't do this. You don't air out DMs between. I
I'm
really don't like
confused.
that. I really don't like that.
Wait, is this in going against Cinder or is it going against?
It's going against
what is
Cinder.
this?
She's showing DMs
Silvervale.
based off of how she felt like.
Okay.
So it sounds like
Is she
Aru
implying
was
that
like.
Cinder was using her to get to Silvervale?
No, maybe I don't know.
I think that is, yeah. Yeah, no, from what I'm reading, yeah, that's what this is implying. Honestly, gross. F minus if I could.
Was Silvervale still a Visoja at that time?
In 2022, I don't know.
actually.
That was around the time
think
of
so.
the Hogwarts Legacy shit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
think she would've
is it
still
before or
been-
after?
High school never
I want to say it was
ends.
before. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Well-
Neuro-sama's gonna drop a doc.
Oh my gosh.
That would be funny.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So sorry.
If
It would be
Neuro-sama
really
drops a
fucking funny.
document on anyone, I'm just gonna believe Neuro-sama.
Dude, oh yeah, I Neuro-sama, I am fully a member of the Swarm. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was the dates on those screenshots again?
2022.
They were.
Let's
it
look
was
at
just
that.
2022.
Cinder, like,
10, so October.
2022. 2022.
and it was Cinder trying to like go through Aru to set up a collab with Silvervale. Because
That
Cinder
seems
pushed
I
me to
wonder
ask
if it's-
Silvervale for a
I noticed that
collab.
they're, like,
Wow.
It seems
Yeah,
to be
she
a
was still-
three-way collab. Because they're like,
I
hey,
think
can
it
we
was
play
because
with... Like, I saw the screenshots earlier, and it said, hey, we should all play something together off stream. And it's like, well, is that really you getting that to somebody through somebody
my
else?
gosh,
If
I love how
you're not even benefiting it through the stream?
I love how this person's like, I do understand how hard it is to say no to a friend. Ugh.
While
It's
dropping
really
DMs.
no.
She was in Vishojo? What?
Yeah, this is back when Silvervale was selling for Sojo. She didn't
Holy
leave it until
shit.
2023.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
yeah, I can see. That's the reason why I was asking. So
Bro,
okay,
this
she's in for
shit's fucking
Sojo. It's
wild.
probably hard to get a hold of people.
Narrows
If
down
I
to
remember right-
hexadecimal, and it's 120 pages long.
Yeah, this whole thing just stinks to me as wanting to get rid of someone and turning things into a bad light. Because if they're such good friends, they have DMs of each other.
Yeah,
If
this
it's
is
that bad,
officially like fully a
showcase-
witch hunt.
Well, okay.
Yeah, if it's that bad, showcase your fucking DMs of what was going on at the time.
It's my
And
opinion
at the
that none
same
of these
note-
people were actually friends. All these people were very transactional with each other. Like Mr. Mediker says, you have no friends on the internet. And that's how I feel like all these people were with each other.
Is that how large was Cinder in 2022? I don't know. Let me look.
I don't know.
Social Blade.
I feel like out of everyone, I'm really just like, I think Shylily was one I was like, I understand. But the one that I'm really like, man, I kind of feel bad for her. I really do feel bad for Silvervale.
Yeah.
I do. She's the one where I'm like, she quite literally did nothing because she straight up was like, I don't want to collab with you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think Silvervale experience is very valid where she's like, I don't know why this girl hated me. I just didn't want to
Yeah,
collab.
no, that's
bro.
all. Yeah, Silverville
because
got it the
also-
worst. She got done
Yeah.
the most dirty.
Well, because Silvervale was straight up like, I don't want a
What-
transactional friendship.
What one that's and you would propose that was Joe for how long? I'm sorry.
So I don't know. I feel like Silvervale was the one that was like wronged. Like truly, truly wronged.
Everybody's just convinced that she actually knew everything that was going
Yeah,
on.
which
I feel like that is such a
October
horrible hill to
20
die on.
Let's see. October 2022, Cinder was at 60,000 followers on Twitch.
Yeah. I don't think Cinder knew absolutely everything. I think she knew more than
No,
what she implied in the Google Doc, though.
Probably.
That's
Probably,
what I
probably.
think.
I would agree with
was.
that.
And I got into an argument with Mizu on Twitter about this. It's the idea that people either take it way too much into account or don't take it into account enough. That at the time when all this was going down, her, at least, we don't know if it's still happening, but at the time at least, her and Red were living together and were in a romantic relationship. As
When was
a
this?
teacher, this is like just within the course of like their years together and like all this drama. But when you live with someone, you're going to talk.
No, apparently she didn't live with them.
Not
Allegedly. Allegedly, she didn't live with them.
Allegedly.
It's like
Even
an
still.
internet relationship.
Even still,
And again, if nobody can provide proof that they did live together, then the default is
Yeah.
innocent until proven guilty.
even still, when you have relationships with people, romantic and familial, when you're on positive terms, you tend to talk. I'm a teacher. I come home every day. I talk with my mom, who's also in education, and we talk about everything. Like, we talk. Now, we don't tell
to be fair,
everything.
Cinder herself mentioned that her real-life relationships, including her relationship with Redacted, was in shambles, and she let it get that way. And I would say, yes, if it was a positive, like a good relationship, sure. I don't think it was. I think this was a weird codependency thing that was extremely toxic at its core, which is why this was happening. Because again, as a lawyer, as a family lawyer, I can't tell you how many people have come in. I need to file for divorce. I found out my husband of however many years, sometimes over a decade, was doing this behind my back. Yes, we own a business together. Yes, our finances are tied together. Yes, I'm like, how did you not know? I just, see, he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that it really depends and reflects on the health of the relationship, on whether or not Cinder how much she knew, you know?
Yeah.
I think the more toxic the relationship was, the less Cinder would have known. The more positive it was, the less you knew. I mean, more knew. More she knew.
Yeah, but until I see actual... I'm not gonna go over this, or whenever I say we, were, and them, and stuff like that, I'm not gonna take Redacted's messages as
well. A lot of that in DMs, that's just
news.
manager shit.
That's just manager shit. Like I said,
Raging
you have
Post
no
showed
idea.
me DMs between him talking with the artist on my behalf, and he said, "Yeah, this is what we want. This is what we're gonna do. Here are the references that we are providing." Like, it's a normal vernacular to use when speaking on behalf of another party that you're representing.
Can we talk about for a moment just how crazy people are being ripping up their merch?
Yeah.
They blocked me.
This is like Meiji level.
Holy shit! They ripped off
They
their head.
blocked me.
They ripped off their
What was her
head.
name, Ruisa?
This person and another one blocked me on Twitter
What was
because I
that one
called them
girl's
out.
name? The GFE girl, where like people found out she had a boyfriend, and people were like, destroy all the merch. It's like, well, what are you doing?
Why?
That's your money.
It's like why? All right. So, and here's the stupid thing, because like I said, I call these people out. It's like, guys, you've already bought the merchandise. You've already bought the merchandise. You've already paid Cinder the money. The only thing you're doing is destroying your own fucking money. And what you're doing is a virtual signal and a fucking pearl clutch for fucking clout. That's all this is. Stop being retarded, take your meds, and go the fuck away.
I do like this one because they're turning Cinder into cinders.
Well, here's what I think. Chat, don't do this.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
All right? Don't do this. One, bad for the environment.
No, don't do it.
Two, you know how much money this is going to be worth when she does eventually leave the platform, and then there's going to be like a very rare VTuber that got canceled.
Yeah, that's true. There's none
There is
left,
a collector value in this now, so don't destroy your merch.
You're making a collector's market.
There is a market for this that is going to summon itself, and people are stupid for getting rid of it.
At one point, yeah.
This is a prime example of taking meds.
As a boyfriend and girlfriend, don't tell each other every single little thing. I'm sorry, but they don't. And if you think that they do, you need to understand that a couple is not a Heisenberg frickin' Cronenberg amalgamation of two people. We're not doing the fusion dance here. There's two different people.
I'm married here. So, do you think my wife knows everything that I do online? The messages I have with Akko and Eva and Rage and everyone else.
Does your wife
does everyone think that?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh.
That is like creepy ass
Your
fucking
wife is in
schizo
chat
behavior.
Sparkies. You gotta be careful.
Is she? Here.
No, she's not.
This is for
It's
Junie.
just Junie.
No.
What?
This is for
What's
you.
for me? Oh my god.
Oh my god, look at that's amazing.
That is
Like, I'm gonna say right now, the memes that have been coming out are top tier.
They are. They are.
Ava, let me ask you a question about this, because I don't see no one else discussing this or talking this, because we know that the only thing that these people had in common is they shared a VTuber artist, and they were closing it, like they shared audiences for some, they rated each other for some, they collab sometimes, all that good shit. But I don't see people talking about the dynamic between like Shylily and Cinder and the fact that the part owners of GamerSupps. What in the fuck does this do with that? Especially with statements coming out from like Shy and everyone else
That's a good
trying to
question.
drag her down.
Yeah, that's actually
a
a really good
tort.
question. I'm gonna
Wouldn't
say
it be?
that
Whoa.
this is speculation, but I think that Cinder is going to be pushed to or pressured to sell off her ownership of GamerSupps. I think that's
Is
what's gonna happen.
she? I don't know. Because GamerSupps has been staying very, very quiet. Let's not forget, even though people in this call may disagree with it, GamerSupps is coming under a lot of heat for still having Kirsha.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's-
yeah.
Yeah, they
Here's
are.
the thing. And here's the thing.
But again,
they're
this
still
is a
riding
fight
that
between
wave.
two partial owners, right? Now, what will happen is we're not going to see GamerSupps make a statement against Cinder or anything like that. If anything was going to happen in a few weeks at most, maybe a month, you'll see Cinder making an announcement about her deciding to sell or step down from partial ownership of GamerSupps. If anything's going to happen, that's what will happen. You're not going to see any publicity being made by GamerSupps about this controversy between two partial owners.
Well, the question is, how much do they own?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Because that would
because
even
it-
determine if she even leaves or not. Because if it's like 5%, then like, girl, I wouldn't leave. I'd
But
do my
here's
own
I
how,
wouldn't leave
here's-
either, but again, if she's pressured to leave and she's a anxious person who has allowed a manager to speak for her because she can't make deals on her own, I don't know. I feel like she could be pressured into selling her partial ownership. Not saying she should, but I'm just saying that's what might happen.
This could happen.
Yeah. For Shylily and Cinder, they are affiliates and partial owners. It is on the
Yeah.
Twitter pages. They
They have the
are
little-
We
partial.
don't know percentages though.
Yeah, we don't know what percentages they own, but here's how I'm looking at this. This is a private matter. This was a private matter
Yeah.
between VTubers, artists, and editors. Cinder is not the one that ignited this powder keg. It's Nano and then everyone else jumping on top of it. Cinder responded, and now Shylily's clapping back. Cinder here is not the aggressive party. Shy and everyone else is. That's how I'm looking at the dynamic.
They ain't gonna push out Shylily. They ain't gonna push her out.
No, but she is
No,
looking bad for business
I mean,
right
if I
now.
were to guess between the two, I imagine Shylily owns more in GamerSupps than like Cinder does. And again, the court of public opinion is in Shylily's favor right now. Like
Yeah.
Shylily is backed up to the none, and again, companies really care about public appearances, and so if the public is on Shylily's side, she's not being pushed out.
Azaha says similar as Asma goes stepping down from OTK, but he might have stepped down. He still owns it though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He stepped down. He still owns it.
No, Halfring is basically, I love how, like, you can tell he used to work for the IRS, however long he did for a short stint, because
Yeah.
he seems to have business savviness. Like, he knows how to do the things and when to do it. Like, he's not a part of OTK anymore, yet he's a fucking owner. And you don't know it because of what he wanted you to think. Like, that's side-based businessman right there.
Canceling a manager makes public sense to me. No, it is not fucking sense at all. It is fucking stupid. Again, I will stand by this, and I will die on this hill. There's none of this should have ever been made.
I did see
fucking public
Giga was
by
talking
anyone.
about her experience, and yes, she's being level-headed about it, even though she lost the model by the artist. And
Yeah.
here's the
Yeah.
thing, too, like,
What is it?
I've been canceled on.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you get. I've been canceled on, for models and stuff, just because my artist is peers, whatever, and stuff like that. So cancellations suck and everything like that. But I think with how much money these models are, I think that really is what it's boiling down to. Is Cinder's manager's attempt to gain exclusivity with a model artist that was like Silvervale, Shylily, like Bao, like these are big fucking models, VTuber names. And so I think it does really boil down to how hard lupting this is. We're talking 20k minimum That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah,
at that point,
emotions are gonna be high when you're talking about that much money.
Oh, I agree.
yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I watched. I did watch Giga. Like Giga had like a video
Yes,
on
she
her
did.
YouTube channel of her clipped talk. I think Giga was very. I know people have like their opinions on Giga. I think in that video she was very level-headed about it. I think she had a very level head because she spoke from the business aspect of it and she kind of stuck with the business aspect of it. And I appreciated her for that. And then, but that was all before, because then like that video came out and I watched it, I was like, you guys like a good point. And then I go on Twitter and hours later, she's like, I just realized why one of my commissions was canceled. And I was like, not you too.
Oh no!
Here's the thing, and here's what I'm gonna say to all these people, especially bitch about the commissions being dropped, stuff like that. It's like, one, we've heard Giga talk about the business level aspect with Twitch and Dan Clancy as she consistently sucked them off on stream.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't care for opinion on business aspects wise. Also, on that same note, find a different fucking artist. That simple.
Well, okay, you say that, but it took me the better part of 2 years to find an artist that actually delivered. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
not as easy as
here's the
finding
thing.
another artist by all the debuts and stuff like. Look, I'm just saying that I understand the agitation, especially where like my model costs $165 with all the toggles and everything. We're talking low tier, like if someone canceled on me over that much, whatever. Over 20 grand model though, yeah, that's gonna be hard to find a model artist to replace that level of quality, and you're just out 20 grand for a hot minute. While the fucking refunds, while all the other shit stuff go through. So yeah.
Giga's was specifically artwork, and Nano's artwork prices base start at $2,000. So
I like my artist art style.
Just for artwork?
My artist charges up to $100.
sorry.
He's good. I like him.
her base price is $2,000 for her
I'm
artwork.
sorry.
I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up
And
with how
I'm
much
sorry.
money is being thrown
This
around.
and that's before anything like outfit complexity or anything. So I think once your artwork, once whatever you're paying is exceeding that type of level of money, I think you have a little bit of a right to be bummed out. And it's more than just, oh, go find another artist, because that's someone who's like preparing to dump.
Oh no.
No,
Time out. It makes perfect sense to go find another artist because it's the artist that made that choice to do
find
that.
another artist, but understand it's not just finding another artist. Oh, like, it's like telling a depressed person, just feel better. Okay, well, I'm going to eventually try to feel better, but for the moment, this is shitty. Let me wallow in self-pity for a hot minute, and then I'll find another artist. Like, we're appealing to the emotional side of it. I fucking cried when Raging Bull told me that my model artist, disappeared, just gone. Model on hiatus, nothing. I fucking cried, because it was our emotional. Now, what did I do? A couple hours later, I freaking went and looked for another artist, but still, we had to acknowledge the emotional aspect of that.
Now I get that, and I will understand that if they were starting out and they didn't have a model. But these people at this point probably have about 10 fucking models they can cycle through. Find another fucking artist.
True.
I am not bowing from this fucking stance.
Models.
Find another
By the way, I'm looking
fucking
forward
artist.
to Junie's model debut, June 13th, right?
yeah.
That's right,
but
random
no.
plug, come at me.
My point isn't even like any of like that. It's just that hours after Giga posted her whole video, she was like, oh, I just now realized why one of my commissions had been canceled. Past tense. And she was like, she didn't like, that was like that was like all she said. She didn't like drag it on or anything. That's all she said. And then just moved on.
Now,
so I don't think she was like out of pocket for that. We're just going, oh,
now,
I just realized.
If this affected them in a way monetarily, or even a way for the channel going forward, I would understand that. But if they're basing stuff off of something that's not made yet, that's on them, not the artist or anyone external, that is on them for trying to plan and make something that's not even done
because
yet.
again, these plans can be months ahead of time. So yeah,
Like Silvervale's
I found out why
birthday.
this was canceled. Oh shit. Yeah, and guess what? That was fucking 6 months of planning just out the window. Now I have to start
Again,
from square one.
With-
That is a
that's
monetary. That's a hold on. That's a monetary setback. That's a financial setback. That's a channel
It's a
setback. That's
timeline
now
setback.
we're oh shit. I had this debut announced for this time, but now because my artist dropped me, I had to find a new artist, which means a new timeline, which means I need to tell my community that hey, the debut I told you I was in VS pushed back. Like yeah, no, this all has
Or
a
pay more
butterfly
in
effect.
rush fees.
And that is the
Yeah,
artist.
this all has a butterfly
issue.
effect. Is all I'm saying.
That
It
is,
has a
and
butterfly
that is,
effect.
that is the artist issue, then, not fucking Cinders. That is an issue between
I don't-
Which is
Mattel
what I'm.
and
I don't
the
think
artist.
Giga was saying that was.
Well, I know, but everyone else
think
is
Giga was really
not
even
you
like-
guys, not you guys. Everyone else. I'm framing this as everyone else is blaming this as Cinder. You know, Giga. This is Cinder's fault. Silvervale. This is Cinder's fault. Bao. This is Cinder's fault. Shylily. This is Cinder's fault. No, this is Nano's fault. Get it right.
I think it can be both. Because if her manager was pushing for it, the fault does fall there, and then Nano further for also like going through with it. I
Nano
don't
said
think
no.
it all. Nana could have said no, but also Red could have just not pushed it. We're getting into like I don't even know what to label this.
That's fine. What all has
We're getting into
Shylily's
hyper
manager
nuance.
push? Yes, and I can push even further than that. What all has Shylily's manager pushed for, or Bao's, or Giga's, or anyone else? We already know people in Vizojo, especially manager-wise, can be very cutthroat when it comes to artists and commissions and shit like that.
Well, I think
So-
that's why. Oh, I was gonna mention this earlier. I think that's why, like, we saw it was all about Silvervale, it was all about Bao, it was all about Shylily, and Giga got something canceled. But you know who was completely untouched? Iron Mouse. Because Iron Mouse has a Nanoless model. Just I throw that out there.
Well, and
Well, she does have a
Iron Mouse also-
disability, so
Iron Mouse also really does throw money out there. She will throw money out there. She'll pay double for a model. She's already stated that.
Yeah, but I'm just.
So again, it's
So
business
Red knew
related.
better. Yeah, but at least the manager knew better not to push for Nanoless to not take Iron Mouse.
As her is like, yeah, it was Cinder push for exclusivity. Yes. So has HoloLive, so has Ninja Sanji, so has Vizojo, so has any other fucking big company. I don't see a fucking hate mob being formed around that.
What's the Bloods?
Alright, so you gotta remember, I come from that community too.
Is that?
I came from that community.
Yeah.
it's what you're doing right now.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Look, you can take the ghetto out of Sparky, but you can't take the Sparky out. Wait, no, fuck, hey, god damn it. I
You
messed
can
it
take
up.
Sparky out of the
Reverse that.
ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of Sparky. There you go, I fixed it for you.
Dama brings up a good point. Nano deserves some fault for letting people convince her to cancel clients. I agree. I think that
Right.
Nano decided to
I
let her
don't
emotions go too
disagree.
heavy into
That's
this.
my point.
I don't
That's my
disagree.
point.
I don't disagree. But I don't think it all falls on her. I don't
Just
think
like
it
it
all
doesn't
falls
fall on
on her.
Cinder.
I didn't say it all fell on Cinder.
I think
I'm
all.
not
Yeah,
saying
what
it
is
did.
this black and white shit? Everybody's at fault here.
Yes, everybody's
Amen.
a shit person.
We can agree with that. We can 100% agree with that. Yes. All right.
Everyone is
Everyone
at fault for
except
something in this.
Silvervale. Everyone except Silvervale. She's innocent.
No, Silvervale's at fault because she decided to step in it.
By just saying, hey, I don't know why Cinder hates
She's
me.
allowed to talk about her experiences.
She's allowed to talk about her experiences. Silvervale fundamentally, all she did was Cinder's manager
Look,
went, hey,
Cinder's
Cinder wants to
own
collaborate with
words.
you, and Silvervale said no.
Yeah, Cinder apologized and said I was unnecessarily evil
Evil.
and competitive towards her. Okay, so Cinder's own admittance, like Silvervale just like got randomly like she's just standing there in a brick, randomly just throw out bad. Al, why would you do this?
Anyway,
Because that would,
I
yeah.
know, what they want to be a VTuber. Yeah.
that's a different conversation for a different day. We ain't
That's a
gonna have
different
that.
conversation.
Listen,
One?
Iron Mouse making everybody a VTuber, which I kind of disagree with, but that's not a conversation we're gonna have today because I feel like we've exhausted pretty much everything here. I think final points from everybody go. We'll start with the bat.
I think that people need to stop like combining Redacted and his actions on behalf of Cinder as Cinder's actions and wants and desires and all that. But at the same time, regardless of how much she knew regarding Redacted's approaches in business negotiations, she is clearly a very competitive person to a toxic degree, and I would avoid any business opportunities, dealings, collaborations, etc. with her, because that's something that she just, she struggles with that, and I'm not gonna involve myself with that. So I would say if you gotta take anything out of this, Cinder is not, she's not Hitler, she hasn't killed all the world,
Oh, thank God.
all these other people, but she's not, she's not without blame either.
Okay. Sparky.
Again, very dumb, very stupid, very petty. This all could have been done privately. Nothing had to be revealed like it did. Just like with every other fucking Google Doc. It looks like misunderstandings. It looks like telephoning for the most part. And it just doesn't make sense to me why everyone's getting up in arms about, oh my god, she only did this for business. Yeah, they do this shit for money. They do this stuff for a living. It's business. Friendships always take a fucking sideline on that one. And as far as anything else, I don't care for any other documents that come out. Anything else, everyone in this has some sort of a fucking bad take that they've done in this. No one's hands is clean in this. The only one I might be interested in this is if they all do get on stream and do an IBS. I will support that one.
I would definitely do that too. All right. Go Ferret.
Yeah, Silvervale did nothing wrong. And I feel like Cinder should have been a little bit more involved with their communications with people that she was working with, and that could have
Big time.
potentially avoided this. Like, I talk, like, I'll be honest, Rage don't talk to the artists for me, I talk to them.
Yeah, but if you're a lot bigger, here's what I'll say. If you're a lot bigger, you'll probably not have time to do it, and you're just hoping that you can convey everything you need to Rage, and Rage can do it for you. So, I don't know. I feel like, again, that kind of goes into the wading waters of, if you end up doing everything yourself, why do you have a manager, and what does the manager do for you what that couldn't be done by yourself? So there's multiple different facets to this argument. I think that I unfortunately feel like the internet isn't adult enough to have this conversation, because everybody's just going to get too heavy into the feels. I really don't care to get into the feels. I've already sat here. I've already had people come by and listen to just the doc in general, so I just don't feel like people are ready to have the adult conversation that I think that, at the very least, you three are attempting to have.
Attempting?
To be fair, I think Ava, myself, Mizu, and a couple other people have actually been trying to have this conversation before the fucking fourth document hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Very fair, very fair. Well, chat, here's what I think. I think that everybody is fake and gay. I think that everybody needs to remember that when it comes to the internet, you should not just be friends with somebody that you've collabed with a couple times on the internet, or that you have made music videos with on the internet. You should probably have multiple years experience with somebody that you know online before you can actually call them a friend. I think some of these people thought got way more personal with each other than they probably should have, and it led to what it was. I think that Cinder definitely has some personal health stuff that they need to figure out, because it sounds like they have some personal stuff that they admitted to in this Google Doc, and hopefully they figure it out. I personally am not really convinced that she is quote unquote done. I think if she takes some personal time and then come back and says, I've grown and I've learned and I'm ready to start over, there's a good chunk of people that will still be ready for that kind of to happen, in my personal opinion. But I think that her connections with some of these people are definitely gone. We'll have to wait and see. We'll definitely wait and see, in my personal opinion. I don't know. But I have another stream starting in like 10 minutes, so I need to read these super chats here. So if you guys can stick around if you'd like to give your opinions on the super chats. Ava, you said, I don't know if you want to join Nightwave tonight, but you are welcome to do so. And then I'm going to transition you guys over to my other stream that hopefully won't die.
No, I gotta go do my lesson plans, so...
Oh yeah, right, tomorrow's Monday, huh?
And you also got a character sheet to finish. Don't think I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I gotta go do my lesson plan.
Alright, you enjoy.
Toodles.
You enjoy. Peace. Do I think there's a chance for Cinder to redeem herself? Probably. If I can get myself back from the brink with what happened in Under the Tea, I think that there's a lot of things that people can do. However, I got back from the brink, 1, because I was willing, and 2, because Mizu and Lumi were willing. If the one party isn't willing, it doesn't matter. So, doesn't matter. I have a theory that Nano has other motives for this. Well, it doesn't matter, because now it's over. Allegedly.
Yep.
Allegedly. Now it's over. Well, hoping and praying it's over.
I love this one take. I support Sparky's because he's surrounded by a gaggle of women. It's like, well, 2 women and 1 other guy, but...
Yeah. By the way, Chad, I know you're like 30 seconds behind, and I feel bad about that. I am gonna like soft restart soft restart OBS when it does come to the next stream. So when I'm done with this, I am gonna end and then restart. So we'll get through these here real quickly. First off, Sly for 2. Good evening, Nightwave. You mean Dogwave, but yes, good evening. Temp, why don't you put it for an extra 10 minutes in the future, because we're definitely gonna be a couple minutes late. I apologize. By the way, Temp, you can join call if you want, by the way. We're gonna jump to another call when this starts, but you know. Woogie, thank you for the on-set movie chair sticker. Very much appreciated. Ellis for 5 Canadian. It's a well-known fact that men will break laws and commit war crimes to make their girl happy. This is accurate, yes. Baracho Gato for 5. It's a bad argument because the artists live off notoriety and they get that from working with a lot of people. Yes, but if somebody goes exclusive, they don't need the notoriety because they're already making a living wage from the person that they are exclusive with. So if Nano went exclusive...
People have to remember...
Go ahead.
Artists for the longest time would fucking kill to get an exclusivity contract.
Yes.
For instance, Leonardo da Vinci was no longer having to require rely on notoriety and exposure for his commissions when he got hired as the Medici's exclusive fucking artist. So, guess what? Artists, starving artists, they hope that someone will give them a full living wage just to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So, exclusivity is not uncommon. I do believe Redacted completely, just
flubbed it.
His approach, how he negotiated everything was the wrong way to discuss exclusivity. And Nano, I'm sorry to say, her responses and her giving up what should be privileged information about other clients is also completely unprofessional and a big L that she needs to take.
I agree. I'll be honest with you, I would never work with somebody like Nano again. If I found out that my artist just gave away personal details about me like that, I would drop him like a bat.
Thank you.
That is not what you should be doing whatsoever, and Nano really should reconsider some of her strategy with all that kind of stuff. By the way, is Nano a boy or a girl? I don't actually know. That name is kind of
Nano's a woman.
Nano's a woman? You know what? I'm not saying it's right, but now I understand. Now I understand.
Maybe that's why I have such a because I'm on the outside, but I'm like this. None of this surprises me.
No.
Knowing the gender roles that are at work here. Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, gossip bitch behavior. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway. Outstandity for $20. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The manager friend does come off as devious. If Cinder 100% didn't know any of this was happening, he was doing this to make her about, if not more popular than Iron Mouse, as an example VTuber, just to get money. Again, I think that if he was the boyfriend, there is an idea that he was probably doing this to get in her pants more. Probably. Who knows? As a dude, I can definitely see the prospect of if I can make my girl cooler and I can help take credit for it, she's gonna think I'm hotter. So I'm not gonna say that was his reasoning because we don't know his reasoning. We may never hear from this man ever again. But I am telling you, men do stupid shit. if they think that the girl's gonna like it. And it could be as easy and simple as that. I'm telling you right now.
Thinking with the wrong head?
Something like that. Outsanity, thank you for the $10. I wouldn't be shocked if someone comes out with a doc that's the flaming table to end this match. Again, at this point, I really don't know what else needs to come out. What more do these people need to say? Cinder's down. She is out. She's going to be gone for a long time. There is no way that, like, there's no need for more of this to come out. If more comes out, I'm going to assume that people just want to continue kicking the dog and be more of a victim. It's like,
oh, I already know that's what's happening.
It would be interesting to see someone else drop Google documents involving some of these other people, calling them out on hypocrisy.
Sorry.
It would be real interesting to see that.
You think so?
I mean, look at how Nano was talking to Redacted. They were gossiping.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if
true.
that wasn't the only, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the only person they were talking to. And maybe other people might have felt slighted by them, but also got information and just would put it out there going, yeah, no, I don't see it like this.
Actually,
because they do this all over the place.
If like Nano just came out, oh yeah, by the way, here's Shylily's manager talking shit on us, and it was like, oh fuck.
That's
that's
another thing too.
With everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I want to know is like, what did everyone else's manager do? Because I guarantee, because if they're not fighting for the talents, they're not doing the job.
Yeah. So
it
like
is like in Warren, it's called overzealous representation. You know, so you have to represent your clients to an almost creepy degree.
Yes. Yes, that's accurate. Yes. Let's see here. Juggernaut Demon, thank you for the 5. There's a massive hole in her BS. Everyone in their friend group knew. They discussed everything and made the decision together as a team. No, yeah, I get, like, I'm not going to disagree that, like, she definitely was very isolated with some of her feelings, and she didn't like talk about them, and that was really stupid of her. But you know, it's what it is.
Then why didn't we see the screenshots of that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
If everyone knows, then they have screenshots of this and they can show this.
I think that the screenshots we got, I am not happy with, because a lot of them seem to be cut in and out of context, and it's just like, okay, whenever something like this happens, I don't want to just see where the conversation you want to show begins. I want to see the cringy shit before that happens. If there's porn, you can censor it, but I want to see everything before this, just to make sure you're not cutting something off maliciously, because people do that way too far, way too often. And I'm sorry, I don't trust you unless I get the full context. So the horse stick that you were posting, we got to make sure we see that as well. Let's see here. Sneaky Cats for 1, 2, 3, 4 $9.99 super chats. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Wolfsbane, once again, Silvervale gets attacked for existing. She's not the only one, it looks like. Cole ZR, thank you for being a member for 1 month. AR-15 moment. Oh, jeez. I have no idea what that's in reference to. Wolfsbane for 5. Everyone that's so sure of themselves that she's guilty reminds me of Uncle Ruckus when he's the joke. That N-word is guilty. I got the rope right here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hey, I got the rope right here. Oh, that's not how we do things. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man.
No, you want to talk jury nullification. That's how you do that.
Yeah. Akun for 5. Awkward bit is Cinder, Nano, Bao, Shylily price is Pyre Softer's price range in his weird take, so people will think that 20k is the norm. Now, that's true. When you get literally that rich, $20,000...
This is the precedent there, by the way. Like, which I really hate, because all these popular VTubers are saying, yeah, this is around how much my mom now. People think that starting out, you have to have a 20k model, and that's... Come on, that's disgusting.
Well, and here's the thing. Your model, I will admit, looks a whole lot better than mine. And you paid how much for yours?
$165 if you include the official toggles.
How much? That you cut out.
$165.
$165 if you include the facial toggles. I got 3 facial toggles for $35.
Mine was $850 for the art, rigging, and 4 toggles.
No way.
Yeah.
Holy shit, my rigging was free. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
That's insane.
Yeah. So again, it's like overpriced, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
and that was the
God.
that was also the sixth artist I talked to after being scammed 3 different times by artists.
Yeah, see,
So,
yeah, same shit. The first time I was scammed, it was a $300 bundle.
but I'm still
jeez.
gonna have that
Yeah.
same take. Find another artist.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, fine and kid, that's what I did, you know?
Yep.
Anyway, moving on here. Sly for 2. The only way to sell this VTuber Creator Clash. That's never happening, although I would pay to see it. Just can't be done by iDubbbz. Outsanity for 10. Time to make Cinder TF2 skin for Spy with all the backstabbing. I'm sure that people will do that. That would be funny. I would not make me play TF2. And then, finally, Garrett Grant for $2. Just given $2. Very much appreciated. All right, thank you, everybody, for coming by tonight. Like I said, I am going to take like a 5-minute break in between this so that I can restart OBS so that I'm not 30 seconds behind, and hopefully things that can work out a little bit better. I will see you guys when Dogwave starts here in about 5 minutes. I'm sure the temp has already started and waiting for me to get my ass over there. So I will see you guys next time.